Mr. Lynch, lives will be alive forever. Good morning. Isso é simples. Or simply, 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 David. Yes, David, not saying Lynch. It's May 29th, 2025. It's Thursday evening, because yeah. Same, I think is a severe clear. Si vedono sono little clouds in the sky, and as soon as you get to see mid the sky, it's a clear sky, but so alternative with clouds. And if it's not at all case of the very close to the conditions today, and so now it's early after it's noon and 29 75 Fahrenheit, no, sì, 75 and 2 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius, and this means it is really soft. Like in this day, it's very soft because it is used for the autumn, for the spring at also autumn period. And so it's the reverse of yourself as a person when next January 17 it will be 4 years of weather reports, because I agreed to change on January 17 of 2021, while the other season, including the spring, there are still 3 years. As a person, I don't remember if I body so the body, which I knew supposedly. I'm sure. To I see the name is using for this thing. Sometimes my purpose effective. To Chinese, it's better than perhaps paradox for you. So for me, and I didn't used to take operations for them. In fact, the autumn and summer and the winter, since the fact for the autumn. Yes, before so I said soft for the summer, agitated for the winter, agitated also in general. So for all these periods, a classic adjective, and as I can in English, at least for me, always the thing to see if you do that absolutely incomplete. Yes, it seems that 20 is practically more than 2 months of this spring 2025, but it started according to me, it started April 4th, it was a Friday. I think also for the people, so as an objective effect that it also seems an early as late summer. At the same course, you are in the end of May, are going to January, going to summer, so for me it's also normal. I think also for people, surely for me, also for people. Oh yeah, for me in general, always good. Still not the sky, tutto stato in general. I don't know if I can say the meeting just for you, because it's good, but not too completely. So I can give you as I'm a few minutes. If I think it's temper, but see what it is. I repeat as just before. 25 2 Fahrenheit 24. That imperating atmosphere is anticipated. So before you yes, is the cortina bette non lo so vedere la room di solo se cortina questo white a tre sono di se cortina in generale se mi ripeto should be almost perfect stessa suppose in fact sono da ripetere sky was the same clear at alternating with the clouds for me it's a middle sky, and this is an adjective used to describe this situation. And according to what I read, consumer sensations that in fact stability is Another thing I think later could became sure, I don't know if totally glad, but I'm most sure mostly glad, and also that my three مثلا في fact if not أنا في واحد سري حتى زوجي أنا بنجي أنت بتجي سويسر سويسر أنا في سجلات كم مسكين تبي كليا well bad perhaps better contrary solamente bad well so sì sono amico lui sono cortini questo fatto questo le persone insomma le differenze di colore per France fac la colore secondo uso io ero quello con la colore first one so pink la colore the first and the third it's not the same if it's not the same so pink for the first two things really close hanno infinito adesso a vedere la questo nella room sopra mi dico guida due cortine su insomma tutto radicale senza muovere yourself che non sente si metti pure fra maletto soffratting tu for back tweet si cortine lì senza muovere yourself and also the superior invece tu ma tu si vedi nel mio tu su dove mettere visimo per me sentivi e certo anticipanti mia gesto la sigara che studio questo not visi bene di cortito in genere per si che si formi mette visi mette di certo sono si che anticipanti mia gesto. And finally, from a mini calculator, inject in 14 EPG, scritto di fare, also in this case, in this mia generation. Questi sono le people, fanno genere. Questa è la chiede anche ora. Also, una buona esiste. Also, myself, sulla sua schiesa, and finally, I hope you get breakfast. It's late in general, so for me, it's una chiesa. Ecco, io also, si slide lite, fa quasi il mio formers, the ball person to fare un vedere reaction semplicemente di tu sarà mi fa cane breakfast. Finta non si fa biglietto. È stata vita. Finta non partiamo da te si finché tre ore si è sempre stesso stretch to repeat close the little so nice sometimes slide lite. It's just really obviously just really included 1:29. But the really important thing to show is remember that it's a way also the important with so I'm really young and so sì ecco si sono mossi senza fare absolutely as you know senza fare months and beautiful beautiful shots and my favorite biscuits and many comments of beautiful biscuits and yes I think hanno best kind of type of biscuits chocolate chip cookies e fanno mistake they were also favorite biscuits but in particular another thing that I usually read are these the first one is about milk fatto un shot solid insieme a coffee obviously tu sono squeak chocolate fa così andate una shot fallimento video la shot within these also the effect breakfast or sabano di questi in particolare meno buona second thing about three years perché mi fa before siesta coconut Italian CS. For me, these are second place position because first place position me are BAM Italian CS. In fact, was I truly recommend them to you because yeah, really superb. Nelson, tomorrow, I suppose, if I don't die, I cannot until tomorrow to happen, or to will happen, I will see.